Hello again, everyone. So today is going to be part 2 of making this paper roll here, the snippet roll. And since the last time you saw, I did go back and do some stitching. I did a combination of straight and zigzag here. And you can just use a regular sewing machine for this. And for some of them, I went over the edge a couple of times, and then others I didn't. I don't think I did that with this one actually. And it seems fine. I mean, it's a paper snippet roll. The idea is that I'm eventually going to put these in a book or something and tear them out in pieces, and glue them in. So it's not really going to be like this is going to be by itself all the time. All right. So as promised, this is part 2, and I'm just going to start at this end. And I've already separated out my items that I want to put on the roll to decorate. So I have a larger, these are all die cuts. So these are the largest that I have. These are medium ones. I only have a few small ones. And then I also have a mix of vintagey stamps and stamps that I made myself. And then over here, I have some watercolor fodder that, where it's basically just leaves and things on watercolor paper. And the only thing with these is that some of them are on pretty stiff watercolor paper, like these. I probably wouldn't want them to be the focal point, I would probably want to be delicate with these, is what I'm saying, is because they're pretty stiff, so when you roll the roll, there's a good chance that it's gonna stick up. So let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. My computer is being a real pain and decided to all of a sudden show me my video sideways, so I'm hoping I can manage to do this in this weird way. All right, so I'm gonna move these. I'm actually gonna move these over there. I'm going to leave this paper underneath as sort of my scrap paper. This is under paper that I've been using for all kinds of things. And let's see, let me also get more to the middle. And I'm just going to get right in here. And what I have to glue all these things is a glue stick. And I have a couple of different kinds. I have the Oohoo glue stick, which always works for me. And then I have this Dilutions glue stick, which I have never tried before. So I'm actually gonna start with this one and see how it goes. And if it doesn't look like it's sticking very well, I'll just go back to the Oohoo, which absolutely does. But I kind of wanted to try this one because it has a smaller tip. All right, so what I usually do is I start large to small. So let's go ahead and get in here and see. Let me grab my large stack here. And so we have a bunch of things like this, and I'm not going to think too much about it. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm just going to kind of put things on. And let's see. And I'm going to put that there. Oops, looks like that. A little bit of overage. Oh yeah, that might not work, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the Oohoo glue stick. Part of what this could be is there's sort of a slicker paint here, so it just might not have the right kind of stick for that kind of surface. But with the Oohoo, I have not had any issues sticking to anything really. And these bits are not going to get sewn, so they are, yeah, that was 100% better. These bits are not going to get sewn on, so I kind of want them to be affixed well. Now, I usually do like 1 or 2 large things for each section. Let me see what we've got next. I do have a lot of birds, but I kind of want to spread the birds out. So I do have some flower and leaf cutouts here. So I think, see, that blends too much with the background. I could do the other side, but I think I have one, yeah, right here. So I think that looks nice. So I'm just gonna tear this off on the bottom and then put some glue stick on here. Oh goodness, it's kind of hard with all these little bitty pieces, but you kind of get the hang of it after a while. So I'm just going to put that right over. Actually going to put some more glue on the leaves because I don't think it got much. And this kind of is a messy process. You could use matte medium or something like that and it might actually stick better, but I'm using the glue stick just because I don't want to get out the matte medium because it's a whole thing on its own as far as mess is concerned. But like I said, this has been showing promise for sticking to just about everything. And I'll probably go back through later and see if I need to adjust anything. All right, so let's go to this next section. And I do like to focus on some contrast. So since we have a dark section, all these little, since we have a dark section, you know, I might have that. I think that looks pretty nice actually. So again, I'm gonna cut it or just tear it in the place where I want it. And then I'm gonna cover it with glue. I'm gonna try holding it instead of putting it on the paper because I think I can control where the glue goes a little bit better. So there's that one. Oops. So let's see, I think I want to do another one in this area. And I do have, I have a yellow one. Oh, I actually quite like that. Yeah. And again, I will just have to cut this or tear it where it'll fit. So that's what I'm going to do there. And again, I'm just going to hold it while using the glue stick because that seems to work better. And I bought a whole box of these Oohoo glue sticks and now I can't find them. I already went through a whole box, by the way. Yeah, it looks like I missed a leaf there. Okay. And I will go back at the end and kind of press these on a little bit better. Okay, still on the big size. And since this is a lighter section, I'm going to go for some of the darker things. And maybe I'll go for that for one of my birds here, because I do have this guy, and I think he looks pretty good there. So let me go ahead and the reason why I go big to smaller is because it's just a lot easier to kind of plan a composition. And this is also going to show you one of the issues with black paper is if you have glue on the front of black paper, it just creates kind of a mess. Sometimes you can rub some of it off and sometimes you cannot. Okay, these are kind of detailed little pieces here for the feet. Probably going to need a little bit more glue. Okay, it's looking pretty good, other than the glue on it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go further down and I kind of want something here. So and actually since I'm holding the glue stick now, let's go ahead and lift that paper up so you can see this a little better and it's a little better contrast. So I have this, and I think that's a little too light to go there. It kind of blends in. And then I have, let's see, I have a darker feather. That's going to blend in too. Let's see, I don't have a whole lot of darker ones. And again, that's too light. So I think what I'll do is I'll just keep moving and there just won't be a big thing there. But what about, no, that's still too, but I do like that there because it's against two dark spaces. And these are Tim Holtz papers, so they have two sides. So in theory, I could use the other side. With die cuts, there's kind of a right side that has the paper curves a little down on the sides. And you know, when I place it and then put it down with glue, I'm not always going to get it exactly in the same place that I wanted to get it, but originally. But there is some wiggle room with the glue as well. All right, so I quite like that. We're approaching the end, and then I have another dark section, which is good because I have lots more of these. I kind of like that one. Let's see what else we've got here. Oops. Oh, that's a darker one, so that probably, maybe I'll try that on the next section, which is a little lighter. And let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that there. It's not as contrasty, but I think it'll work. And this method is definitely going to make my fingers a little gluey. Okay, put that there, press it down. Okay, I kind of like that even though it blends in a little bit. And then let's go here. So I did save this flower. And actually it's not super contrasty. Maybe there? Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go beneath the first leaf there. And as to whether I keep the little scrap leaves and stuff, it really just depends on whether I think they're usable somewhere else. If they're not, I'll just toss them. I mean, it's only a little piece of paper, so no huge loss. Okay. And all right. So I think that looks pretty good. Let me just take a quick peek at what other ones I have. I kind of wanted to put this somewhere. It's a handmade paper and then it's cut out into kind of a little, almost like a seagrass thing. So let me see as I go back through. Yeah, it's too matchy. No, it doesn't work. And sometimes things just don't work. So if they don't, oh, well, I kind of like that there. And do we have anything else like that? No. So I think I am going to put it there. I'm gonna, let's see. I think I'm gonna take off that part. See how that goes. And I could use a little squeeze bottle with crocodile glue or something like that to glue these, but they're really super small. I think no matter what you use, you're gonna have some issues tacking it down. Okay, let's see. All right, I like that. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to the beginning and I'm gonna pick out some medium-sized pieces to go on here. So I'm done with the large pieces. And I do have a lot of these birds, but I already have a bird here, so I'm probably not gonna do that. I have butterflies, I don't think they work. This was kind of a, should I put it here or in the other pile? No, oh, okay. And I think, you know, sometimes you don't need a lot because the background is so vibrant So I'm basically going through, I kind of like that because I do like how it goes with this and this over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, and this probably could have fit in the large category. I picked these out in advance, not really thinking about composition, just thinking about which pieces I liked. So, you know, sometimes they don't always work out. All right, and I kind of like how that curves over. It looks like one leaf got missed. Oh, another one. All right, so I like that. That's another bird. I do want to find some places for these birds here, but I want to use a section that doesn't have any birds on it yet. So let's see, I have gray, I have white, which I kind of like. I'm going to put the white off to the side here. And then I have a lavender. I don't like the lavender. And then I have patterned paper. I don't like that one either. I do like this one. So I'm going to put it there. And so if you make one of these, it's totally going to look different. It's going to look totally different from mine because you're going to have different pieces, and you don't need to use a die cutting machine. The watercolor pieces that I had over there, you could make something like that. You could really put anything on here that suits your fancy. All right, let's see. Can I find a place for this guy? No. I kind of like him there. Not sure I like him right there. And then when he gets up into the brown, he gets a little washed out. No, I think we're going to leave this guy. I do have another one over here that I wanted to use. Sorry if I'm getting off camera there. Let's see. No. And this is all just, oh, there's too many of those there already. So this is all just, you know, kind of a gut feeling. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to go with any of these, the butterflies or anything. I'll keep an eye on these little guys. I just have like a little heart, a key, a little blue key, and then sort of like a little arrow thing. But I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to the stamps, because I found that that definitely does shape things up a bit. And I have all different sizes. And I do kind of like to have them, you know, like up a bit or down a bit so that it can be with something. Purple's a little too strong there, I think. What about this guy? And another thing, which I'll show you, I kind of like to go here, like on the cross or there. Let's see. Just not feeling any of those on this particular paper. I kind of like that one, but I think I'm going to leave that one for now. Let's see if we can put some on the middle part. Yeah, I kind of like this blue on blue. Even though it's subtle, I'm wondering if I can bring that out more by putting it somewhere else, but no, I think I like it there. And this, I think, this particular stamp, I think, was in an ephemera box or something like that. So I'm putting it where you can still see the stitching a little bit and kind of placing it under there. All right. Let's see. And you can also come in with scraps of paper. I actually do have that off to the side, so we'll see. Nope. Okay, what about this guy? Nope. It is all about composition, I think. And I do like that one, but let's see, can I have a different motif here? Here's another purple one that has little leaves on it, so I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to off-center it a little bit from the stitching so that the stitching isn't right down the center. Oops, looks like I need some more glue on that side. And this Uhu glue stick is great. It will really work well. All right, let's see. Okay, and I'm not necessarily viewing this as a linear, like all the different parts together. I'm looking for little parts that could be broken off. I really like something there in that little nook there, but I just have to find the right color. And these are kind of supposed to be little pops of color on here. Oh, I actually like that one. Okay. And I made these stamps by using a stamp die cut, but you could also use pinking shears or something to give you the pattern around the edge. And then you can just put any design you want on it, really. Okay, this one seems to be a little bit of a thicker paper. Okay. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Sometimes they want to come off. And what I may do is reinforce the little stamps and things with additional glue later on. Okay, I kind of like that there. I'm gonna do less thinking, more putting, given our time together. But I really do just try to work off the existing composition. Okay, let's see, where's that key? I kind of like the idea of that key being there. And that's why I keep these little guys off to the side, is if I find a good place for them, I want to be able to put them down. There we go. And let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that there. Does it go that way or that way? I think it's this way. All right, and let's see if I want a stamp on the tail end here, because we've got a few good prospects. This kind of mirrors the one over here, and I kind of like that it matches sort of the red there, so I'm going to put that there. Okay, on the tail end here. And then I'm going to go through, I actually have a box over here of fodder. I actually made this box full of fodder in fodder school, and I do have some fun little papers in here. Sorry, it's hard to get. I have all kinds of little offcuts and things like that. It's very hard to show you, especially when my camera's being so weird. So let's see, I'm going to look through I don't want to do that one. But something like that might be interesting, where it's just like a little stamped piece of tissue paper. And so you'll get to see the stuff that's underneath, but it'll also add fun little dots there. Okay. Let's see, I'm just going to show you the pieces I pull out to put on here. A lot of it is, and I kind of like this guy, but I don't want to put it anywhere on here. And that's probably a little too big. Let's see, those watercolor squares are going to be too big. That's a little bright, so this is tape made out of packing tape. Yeah, I think the pink's a little much. Okay, so let's go ahead and take these little watercolor guys and see if there's something that might work in here. I do kind of like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that there. And these, because they're watercolor paper, I'll have to watch out for them a little bit popping up. So I would probably stop there on this section and then put a word. I do have these, which I've cut up. They used to come in full sheets. These are little phrase stickers from Tim Holtz. And then we could just randomly pick one. And then I'm going to put a little phrase right here with shining eyes. And then that would probably be complete on this section. So let's go to the next section. Let's see, the section is so dark, so I want to have something lighter. Let's look at one of those watercolor flowers and leaves. They're just leaves. There's actually no flowers in here. Let's see. Yeah, that just doesn't go. And it just may not work. We'll see. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that on there. Okay. And I feel like this piece needs something else, like something a little bit more motify. So I do kind of like the bird. It's like he's pooping out the key. No, we don't want that, but maybe he can be standing on the key. Yeah, I like that. And I'm probably not going to show you every single step today, but you get the idea. Like you can just keep going like this until you have all the elements you want on there. And again, this section, it doesn't have a stamp either. And you don't want it to be too busy, but you also want there to be enough interest in little pieces so that you can tear it out. Like this, I think, is probably interesting enough with just these circles here on the underlying paper. And let's see, should I put a stamp there? Yeah, although I really like this transition here. So maybe we'll just find a phrase, yeah? So let's see. I usually try to go, in order so that it reads across. That's just, you're going to be cutting these up. Let's see. Let's go a charm all its own. And then I can put that in this spot here. And then I might actually put another one here because I don't think I'll keep these together. Have a few. Let's do all in a moment. Sorry, my hands are a little shaky today. And I'm thinking I can go across that circle. There, okay. So I'm done with that one, or at least largely done. And then here, so there's a big empty space here, which I would probably like to fill with something, but I'm not quite sure what. Yeah, I don't want to layer too much because then that kind of locks me into where I'm going to be putting it. Oh, I do. Okay, so I went back to my little pile. I do like that, even though it kind of blends in, I do like that. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. This is going to be a pretty fiddly one, but hopefully can get glue all over. Okay, and I did want it to kind of tilt off to the side. Okay, not too bad. All right, so there's that, and then maybe we'll put a little phrase up there. Stars adorn the sky. And I'm going to put that right there. All right, and so then this is kind of a no man's land here. Would I include it here? You know, would I go all the way? I might. All the way from here to here, maybe. Let's see, I'm going to give this little guy his own phrase. Let's see. Let's just put happiness there. Since he's a little bird, he's going to have a little saying. There we go. And these are my strings from sewing, and you can either cut those off or not. All right, and again, there's kind of an empty space here. Because some things didn't really go, or at least I didn't think they did the first time. Let's see. I kind of like that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And since that is up a little, I'm just going to tuck it under a little bit and put it there. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a phrase there. This was clearly a Halloween one. Let's see. Maybe, to fly it to your heart. Let's do that one. I'm actually gonna put that there. Okay, so then we have this section here. And again, it's kind of bare over here, I'm wondering if one of my, oops, tangled things up here. I'm wondering if one of my little leaves would work here. That's a little too bright, too big. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to put anything there. Instead, I think I'm going to put a phrase here and a phrase here, and then I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, let's say the sweet prize of life. So that'll go there. And then the reason why I'm going to put something there is because then that can be used on its own. And then I could use this little piece on its own. I'm going to use very fragile remnants and overlap that a little bit. Sometimes you need to add a little more glue to these, but they generally work pretty well. Okay, let me put that off to the side. We're almost to the end here, and once I hit the end, I think I'm going to stop, given our time. Okay, so this actually has plenty going on. I don't think it needs anything else, but I feel like this little guy could be something, so maybe put a phrase there. To tell the world. Let's use that. And then I can put one here so that you could have that or that or that, really. But let's see here. We've already used something related to stars. My little love. Let's use that. And I mean, you could write on these whatever you wanted. I mean, it really, the world's your oyster. And so I'm also going to put one here so that I can break that up. And I think with this one, the paper really does a lot of the work because it's so busy and has so many things on it. Use with all my heart. And I'm just going to kind of put that on the line there. So there we go. And then we've reached the last one, and I liked this phrase here for him, a wonderful creature. I'm going to overlap him a little bit. Okay, and then I feel like I should have something over here. Again, you know, it's kind of busy on its own, although I do kind of like that underneath. And I don't want it to detract, so I knew I thought that one earlier. All right, I'm just going to leave it and put a phrase on it. Let's say my open heart. Okay, so then you have like this little piece here, which I think is pretty nice. And then you have this piece here, which I think is pretty nice too. It can be minimal. All right, well, let's go through it one more time really quickly. Sorry, trying to figure out the camera angle there. And some of these words are coming off, so I'll have to go back and put some glue on them. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay. Oh, and then this one just popped right off. Yes, these are not the stickiest of stickers. All right, and then we're down to the end. There we go. And so what I'll do is I'll roll that up onto my little spindle roll here, and then I will be able to pluck pieces of this whenever I want to put it on something. Like, you know, I could just decide that I want to put that on something and it's all ready to go. It's already a little embellishment section. All right, well, that's all I had for you today. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you would like to see part 1 of this 2-part series, I will put that link below, and I will put the link to this video below the prior video. So you'll have part 1 and 2 together. All right, thank you so much. Take care. Bye.